people like that. You're going to have people who join your team and they actually go out and produce. They actually come to the trainings with you and they go out and they enroll other people and they sell products. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to quit on you and you're going to say, why? You know, I thought this was someone who we were going to go travel around the world together. We were going to get rich together. We were going to become millionaires together. And they quit on you. They are going to deceive you. You're going to have, you know, as things go on and you build a much larger organization, you're going to have leaders within your team who they're actually making money. They're making sometimes significant money and they even quit on you and they leave. And you know what? It just deceives you. You think, wow, I never in a million years thought someone like that would leave. And you just have to realize when things like that happen, you remember, Matt Morris said deception was going to happen. It is just part of the game. You got to embrace that. And you got to understand it's just part of the reality of network marketing. It's part of the reality of life, really. But let me tell you, the biggest person who will deceive you is you. Your story that you have about how you're not good enough, how you're not smart enough, how you don't have the right personality, maybe you're not a good public speaker. All of those things are lies that you tell yourself to justify your own failure. Do not let yourself deceive you. Don't deceive yourself in thinking that you can't go out and do this. If you have the will to win and you are determined, you will win. The next enemy is the enemy of rejection. And now you are going to get rejected a lot. You're going to get rejected from people that you personally show the business to. You're going to have people in your organization who you help show the business to people in their organization and prospects of theirs, and they reject you. You're going to get rejected like crazy if you're doing what you were supposed to be doing. Now, this is one of the biggest enemies that you have to accept, and you have to accept in a big way. In fact, I would encourage you to learn to love rejection, because in reality, we get paid based on activity. We get paid to go out and show the business. And so if you go show the business to 5 people and 1 signs up, the way that I always look at it is I got paid on all 5. So you might, show the business to someone, they say no, you can say, thanks for the $100. And they'll say, what do you mean $100? And you say, well, the way our plan works out is I get paid $100, whether someone says yes or no. The numbers all work out in the end. So get excited. In fact, if I look at how much money that I've made for every person that has rejected me over the years in network marketing, every no that I've ever gotten has earned me thousands and thousands of dollars. So get excited about the rejection. Now, here's the other thing is by going through a lot of rejection, it's going to build your character. And if you think about it, if you never have to go through any struggle, what kind of character are you going to have? You're not going to have a very strong character if you've never faced a storm. No one wants to follow a leader who's always had a silver spoon in their mouth. See, to build a really tall building, you got to dig a really deep foundation. We talked about that earlier. There is no testimony without a test. And so here's what you've got to get to is you've got to say to yourself, my why is stronger than your no. That's what you say mentally. Anytime you get rejected, and if it hurts right now, if you haven't really armed yourself to be bulletproof against rejection, just say to yourself over and over, my why is stronger than their no. You're just going to keep going. It doesn't matter what anyone says about you, about your business, about your product. What matters is your decision to go out and win. Now, the third great enemy is the enemy of dream stealers. And these can be really difficult. This can be really tough because sometimes the dream stealers are some of the people that you love and care about the most. In fact, sometimes they may be even the people that you respect the most. And, it can come from parents. It can come from relatives. It can even come from spouses who see what you're doing. And because they don't understand it, they try and pull you back. In fact, one of the things that I've found, this is amazing, but true, is common men love other common men because they justify each other's averageness. And so sometimes you may have people in your life where they see you going out to go accomplish big things. And It's a little bit uncomfortable. It's different. You're not the same person that they've always known. And so it's uncomfortable for them. They want to pull you back to, the way you've always been, the way they've always known you. And so no matter what someone else says about you or your opportunity or your product, realize that they just haven't seen what you've seen. They haven't understood what you've understood. Now, not everyone is going to understand network marketing. Not everyone is going to love network marketing. Not everyone's going to understand the power of this financial vehicle. And it's kind of like music. If you think about what kind of music you really love, you've got to realize there's other people that don't love that music. Personally, I like all kinds of different music, but I don't really like classical music. I don't really have the patience for classical music. Now, as much as I don't really like classical music, are there people out there who love classical music? I mean, that's their favorite, and they can't imagine why anyone would like country music or rap music or anything else. It's the way we hear things. And if someone else doesn't hear your music, it doesn't mean that it's bad music. It just means that they don't hear it the way that you hear it. So by letting someone else influence you negatively, you are actually being the biggest dream stealer, because you have allowed your dream to be taken away from you. You cannot ever allow anyone else to steal your dream. See, you've got a dream inside you. And I know no one can measure your heart. No one can measure your desire. And if that dream is big, you owe it to yourself to keep going, to be determined, to learn the art and science of network marketing so you can make that dream a reality. Number 4, the final of the 4 great enemies is attrition. See, you are going to have people quit your business, and it's going to be on varying levels. When you first get started, you might enroll your first person, or maybe you just enroll a handful of people, and then, everyone quits. All 2 or 3 people that you enrolled, they quit. Things like that happen. It's part of the game. You're going to enroll, you'll get to a certain point, and maybe you've got 30 people on your team, and then it drops down to 25. Again, just part of the game. You'll have people quit on you. In fact, last week, as I record this, had over 9,000 people join my team. But you know what? I also had well over 1,000 that quit last week. Now, do I worry about the 1,000 that quit, or do I worry about the ones that came on and stayed? I worry about the ones that came on and the ones that stayed. I don't concern myself with the attrition. See, here's a story that inspired me. Now, I don't have the details. I don't have the facts to back this up. This is a story that I heard years ago. But while starting Amway, Rich DeVos and Jay Van Andel, they became actually, at one point, they were in the top 20 wealthiest people in America. They recruited over 500 people in Amway. And out of those 500, 495 quit. So all $10 billion plus in revenues that Amway generates every single year came from 5 people. So you don't need everyone that you recruit to stick with it.
What? All right, let's bring it back up.
Be a millionaire in network marketing. It has not been from the 100 recruited over 500 people in Amway. And out of those 500, 495 quit. So all $10 billion plus in revenues that Amway generates every single year came from 5 people. So you don't need everyone that you recruit to stick with it. You just need a handful. And if I look at what has made me a millionaire in network marketing, it has not been from the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that I've personally recruited. It's come from just a handful. See, our job, the way I see it, is you've got to sort through the chickens to find the eagles. There are going to be people who quit on you along the way. What you're looking for is you just keep going until you find those eagles. You've got to work through the numbers. Now that we've finished out the 4 great enemies, I want to cover some other things. And I just want to kind of arm you. You may be looking at this going, man, Matt is getting really negative with me right now. And I don't do this to be negative. I'm an amazingly positive guy, but I think I owe it to you to really tell you the truth. I don't want to sugarcoat things for you. The number one reason why people drop out of network marketing is because of false expectations. They expected it to be easy and it wasn't, and so they quit. I want to arm you with the way that it is. And if you understand the way that it is, now you can decide for yourself if you actually have the courage and determination to keep going. And I will tell you with everything in me, it is completely worth it. Now, what's going to take you out of the game, number one, is short-term thinking. Most times people overestimate what they can do in a short amount of time, but they grossly underestimate what they can do over the course of 10 years. See, when I got involved in network marketing, I thought I'd have 1,000 people on my team in the first year. But I never dreamed I'd build an organization of over 500,000 people all over the world. Never imagined that would be a reality for me. I didn't imagine I'd have multiple homes and multiple cars, be able to travel all around the world. You know, I didn't quite see that vision for myself when I first got started. When I first got started, I was, I'd love to make a lot of money, but man, I needed to pay the bills. So short-term thinking will take you out of the game. If you're looking at this as a short-term sprint, it's going to take you out. You've got to look at this as a marathon. And so here's my philosophy as it comes to this. I look at this as a long-term game. It's a marathon. And so there may be someone that I show the business to and they're really sharp, but the timing's not right in their life. And that's okay. I may not recruit that person for 5 years. I may not recruit that person for 10 years, but you know what? I'm still going to be in the game. And I have people that call me because I have just remained consistent and persistent year after year after year. I have just remained in the game. And what happens to me now is I have people who reach out to me on a very regular basis, some that I showed the business to years ago. In fact, I just personally enrolled someone that I showed the business to about 5 years ago, and it wasn't the right timing in their life. But you know what? They saw me on Facebook and they reached out to me and they said, Matt, the timing is right now. I'm ready. I'm committed. And so look at this as a marathon, not a sprint. Next is easy in, easy out. One of the greatest things about our profession is it's usually only a few $100s, maybe $1,000 or so to get started. One of the worst things about our profession is that it's very inexpensive to get started. See, if you treat it like you only invested a few $100s, you're going to get paid like you only invested a few $100s. See, to make it to the top of your compensation plan, you're going to have to act as if you invested multiple millions of dollars. If I look at my opportunity, I didn't invest a few $100s. Mentally, I invested several $1,000,000. And because I looked at it as a major, major investment, a multi-million-dollar business, I treated it seriously. And so I never treated it like a hobby. That's the third one. If you treat it like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. One of the greatest parts about our business is that you can work it on your own time. One of the worst parts about our business is that you can work it on your own time. And because your own time ends up becoming none of the time. See, most people are used to having a job. They're conditioned to have employee thinking, meaning I show up for 40 hours, I get paid for 40 hours. And, because that's how you're conditioned, you look at network marketing, it's like when you first get started, you're investing several hours, but you may not necessarily be getting paid based on several hours. You've got to look at this like you're an entrepreneur. You've got to schedule it in. And if you were to start your own business, let's say you started an ice cream shop. Now, if your ice cream shop, if it was open some of the time, but not open a lot of the time, and people never knew when you were going to be open or not open, would you attract much business? You'd have no steady business because people don't know that you're really open. So it's the same thing with network marketing. You've got to plan out your time. If you've got a full-time job, you better put in your planner. When you get off work, you got to schedule in time for making calls, schedule in time for meetings, schedule in the time for training. You got to treat it like a real business, not like a hobby. Now, another thing that was true for me is you become what you think about most of the time. And so it needs to become part of the fabric of your life. It needs to become part of your thinking. You've got to keep your goals in front of you. You've got to see your goals so you see them all the time. And if you don't have those goals in front of you on a regular basis, you tend to forget about it. For me, I had my goals and my visions and my dreams in front of me all the time so that it consumed my thoughts. It became an obsession for me. It became a passion for me. And because it became such a big priority for me, it ended up becoming a reality. Now, the fourth thing that's going to take you out is being content with a good life. So I'll just tell you, if you're content to sit on your couch every day watching TV, if you're content to simply get by in life, if you're content to leave a legacy of averageness and mediocrity for your family, I'm not going to be the guy that's going to call you a loser, but I will definitely tell you, you are not a winner. You have got to get committed to having a spectacular life and an outstanding life. You got to get committed to being able to leave a legacy. I'm not talking about just a legacy of money. I'm talking about a legacy of principles of success, about being able to carry on love and contribution and the principles that are going to lead your family generations forward to success. And so good is the enemy of great. If you are satisfied with a good life, you will never have a great life. And chances are, wherever you are in your life, you've got something that you're not totally passionate about or you're not totally content with. You want it to be better. And I'll tell you a quick story. It's a farmer, actually, and he's sitting on his wooden patio, his wooden porch, and his neighbor walks up. And as his neighbor's walking up, the neighbor sees the dog that's laying next to the old farmer. And the dog's just howling. He's going, "Arr, arr, arr." And so the neighbor, he says, "Why is your dog howling?" And the old man on his rocking chair, he says, "Oh, he's sitting on a nail." So the neighbor says, "Well, why didn't he just get off the nail?" The old man, he says, "Well, reckon it don't hurt bad enough." So chances are you're sitting on a nail, and it's going to take you getting off the nail. You're going to have to get up off the nail, and you're going to have to start running. You're going to have to do something if you want to live that great life. And number 5 is emotional attachment. There are going to be so many instances of you needing to disassociate yourself emotionally from different situations. It starts with the prospecting process. If you are needy with your prospects, they are so unlikely to join, it's ridiculous. A prospect can smell neediness like a dog smells fear. You've got to disassociate yourself from the results. You've got to stop emotionally attaching yourself to the results that other people have. I almost quit network marketing because I got to the point where I could enroll several people, and I did. I enrolled several people, but most of them never did anything. And I took it upon myself as if it was my fault. They didn't do something. They didn't do anything. And what I finally had to realize is we're all in control of our own destiny. See, you can't force someone to want more for themselves than they do. You can't force desire. You can't force people to stay in. You can't force people to go to work. This is a volunteer army. You're going to have people who quit on you, and it's going to hurt you emotionally until you can disassociate the emotion. You've got to get to the point where you are rock solid no matter what happens. Otherwise, it takes you out of the game. So what's it going to take for you to win in network marketing? Number 1, you're going to have to be willing to accept a temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people. You're going to have to get rid of any emotional attachment to someone saying no to your opportunity. You got to remember this quote forever. Fear is temporary, regret is forever. You're going to have to get over the fear that you have about what other people think about you. You've got to decide to be a network marketing professional. So you can't be an amateur and get to the top. You got to go pro. You've got to look at this like any other honorable profession in the world. You know, to be a doctor, you've got to go to 8-10 years of school. To be a lawyer, you're looking at around 7 years of education. You know, there's all, and people look at those professions as amazingly honorable, but what they don't realize is that with network marketing, you don't need 8 or 10 years. You don't need hundreds of thousands of dollars invested, and you can make way more money than any doctor, way more money than any lawyer. But better than that, you've got the time to go out and see the world. You've got the time to go enjoy your wealth. And in my opinion, wealth is not just having money. Wealth is having the money and the time to enjoy it. Now, another thing to grow your income in network marketing, you're going to have to grow yourself. See, the law of the lid, I've mentioned before, but the law of the lid is always in effect. Your income will never grow beyond who you are as a person. If you want to get out of a plateau, if you feel stuck, grow yourself. You've got to work on yourself initially as hard as you work on the business. Next, you want to create a BHAG. A BHAG is a big, hairy, audacious goal. This goes back to creating your core life purpose. You know, what is that core life purpose for you? Why were you put on the earth? What is it that you want to go out and achieve? Create a big, massive goal. Give yourself something that you're willing to run through a brick wall to make a reality. And then the final thing is just never, never, never quitting. The only way for you to really fail in network marketing is for you to give up, for you to quit. As long as you are continuing to take action, as long as you're educating people, as long as you're really staying in the game, you can win. And you've got to have the mindset that no matter what it takes, you will win. With that, my friends, I'll see you on the next module.
Wow, that's fantastic, man. Clifford, you missed. You missed big time. All right. All right. We're gonna, today we're gonna see something fantastic. As a matter of fact, this training I only did it once, and I'm gonna do it again today. How about that? But how are we doing today? How's everybody doing? Can everybody hear me?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Julian, are you at work? I'm on my way. Afternoon things. All right. Let's do this then. No. All right. I want to welcome everyone. All right. Record to this computer. You know, one thing I love about Sundays like this is before everybody comes, we're done. All right. The good thing about constantly developing yourself is that it will always show in your bank account. Always. All right. I've developed about 3 other topics that we can run on for the next 6-7 weeks already. All right, probably 8 weeks from now on a daily basis. All right. And it's going to be super fantastic. But before then, I need to place in your hands the tools of what it takes to build your businesses. All right, whether you're building long reach or scrapping. Right. And the rate at which everybody is turning star directors in long reach today, the thing is scary. All right, Julian, I don't know if you're noticing the same thing. Hello, Julian.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I will not call your name again until you are settled. All right. But I can assure you it's going to be fantastic. So I want to welcome you to once again our 2021 Benz Club. We have a G17 Benz Club. If there's anybody here who doesn't like Benz, please speak up now or forever remain silent. All right. So if there's anybody here who, for one reason or the other, does not want us to go for Benz Club, you want us to go for BM Club or Autobiography Club, speak now or forever do what? Are we together today at all? What's happening? Maybe I need to ask. I know where Julian is. Gloria, where are you?
I'm at home.
Okay. Doc, where are you?
I'm home, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Doc. Clifford, where are you?
Yes, I'm just finishing from church now.
Where are you?
I'm heading home.
Okay. Destiny, where are you?
I'm at home, sir.
So why is it taking us time to respond to simple questions? Since most of us are home.
Because I want pens.
Because what?
Because I want pens. You say if there's anybody that does not want pens, so I wanted pens.
Is that why you're keeping quiet? Why didn't you talk?
Okay, sorry.
No one Ben should talk. That is why we did not talk, because we like Benz.
Mm-hmm. All right. No problems. Let's go for Ben's then. Ben's Club it is then. All right. So today we're going to learn, business development skills for success in 2021. All right. And part of what we're going to learn today is, developing the winning mindset. All right. Prospecting skills, inviting skills. We're going to learn a little about it. All right. Presentation skill and follow-up skill and how to handle objection. Objection will never end. It will still keep coming. Even when you're done, you're still developing more of yourself, objection will still come. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? So the first thing we're going to do is, talk about the developing the right mindset for your business this year. All right. And how we are going to apply that in our business. Would that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. Is that Milka? Who said yes, sir? Doc.
Hi, sir.
I. Me, myself, and I. Right. I'm happy we are doing all of this thing earlier this year so that it will make 2021 the bomb for all of us. So fantastic. 1 second. 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. All right. Developing the right mindset. Developing the right mindset. Where are you? Where's my share? Okay. Good. All right. Now, what's gonna happen here is that you see everything starts and ends with your mind, whether you like it or not. All right, I've told us before, it has nothing to do with your upline, it has nothing to do with your downline. All right, if your downlines are not working, if all of them are lazy, it's a reflection of you as a person, as a leader. All right, I'm not saying no matter how hard you try, all of them will still be lazy. Let me tell you something. You see, if you take leadership responsibility like you ought to have taken, at least minimum of 10 to 20% of your team members are gonna work. All right. Now, if you heard what Matt Morris said in his video that we played, all right, you realize that, you see, Matt Morris said he in 1 week he enrolled, new people. Over 9,000 people entered his team, and in that same week, immediately, over 1,000 quit. And he made one gave us one example about Amway. The year they started, they say they enrolled over 500 people, and about 495 people quit. All right, not because the leaders there were lazy, not because they didn't know what to do, but because, you see, no matter what you do, some people are going to quit on you. All right, so you need to develop the right mindset, all right, that everything starts and ends with your mind, all right? And you need to develop the right philosophy for either your long reach, your scrap it, or any business you're going to do, all right? And there are 4 philosophies that changed my life, basically. See? Number 1, become a 360-degree leader, all right? Lift the lead on your leadership, all right? You need to lift that lead, all right? Because you're taming it, all right? That's why I deliberately played Matt Morris' video, the first video for us, all right? So if you didn't watch the whole thing, you need to go back to your millionaire school, all right? And watch over again the 4 great enemies of network marketing, all right? Then learn to seek the incentives first, all right? Incentives is like, seeking the incentive is like the Bible telling you, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and every other thing will be added unto you, all right? That's what incentives are, all right? So skills number 2 that we're going to look at is prospecting, all right? Prospecting. All right, the heart of your G17 business basically is prospecting, guy. All right, this is the life wire of your business. All right, this is the life wire of your business, basically. All right, prospecting. You can't take this out of business and you will survive. All right. So, what is prospecting? I have a definition for prospecting. See, prospecting in network marketing simply means the process of educating people about a life-changing opportunity that you're passionate about, all right? Have them understand it. That's prospecting, all right? Simply educate people about a life-changing opportunity that you're passionate about, all right? And have them understand it. All right. If you're really, really passionate about it and you're not just doing guesswork, you see, your passions is contagious. Yes, that's the word. Your passion is contagious. All right. Some of the key phrases, Matt Morris also drew it out for us already in the first video I showed us. You see, never be emotionally attached to the outcome of your prospecting. Right? No matter what happens, don't let it get at your emotions. Reserve your emotions for another thing. All right. Then prospect like a farmer, not like a hunter. All right. Prospect like a farmer and not like a hunter. I'm going to show you another video, all right, by Cesar Rodriguez, all right, when we are done, that talked about, the headhunter, basically, all right. But you're going to prospect like a farmer, all right, and not like a hunter. Of course, you know what farmers and hunters do, all right? So there's no need taking time to go deeper into, all right? So there are 3 types of prospecting, of which we already, talked about it in the gateway skills, all right? We have the warm market, those you know, the cold market, those you don't know. That's the strangers that you're going to start picking on, all right? Then the hot market, potential prospect from new influential associate, all right? All right. Now, where you get your hot market from is either from your warm market or from the people you have already signed up on board the business that you're on. All right. Their own people that they know is going to be your hot market. All right. How many of us understand that? Are we following?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to give us one leverage. All right. As I'm talking, as I'm vibrating everything, you're seeing it on the screen. If there's something you don't understand, can you pause me and ask your question? You don't have to wait until I finish. Will that be okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I got madman to achieve my dreams.
That'll be okay, right? All right. So let's continue. Key requirements to impactful prospecting. Your knowledge of network marketing, all right, is very, very important, all right? Then your knowledge of the platform you're representing is also very, very important as well. Then your knowledge about G17 is also very, very important. All right. Very, very important. All right. For me personally, as a matter of fact, when I meet somebody I want to prospect first, all right, what I show them first is not the company, it's not the business, it's not even network marketing. What I show them first is G17. All right. What do we do at G17? Who can tell us? Who can help? What do we do in G17? I just God beg you, if you can talk, don't chat.
In G17, we
So nobody knows.
In G17, we breed leaders.
All right.
Okay, sir. In G17, we build relationship, build leadership, create lifestyle, and automatically creates money.
Okay. How many of us have ever seen this before?
Uncle,
I've seen it. I've seen it before.
What about this?
Yeah, I've seen this before.
Then how many of us have seen our our mission and our vision? If you've ever seen these two things, this is what you should preach 100% of the time when you're meeting your prospects to come and be part of. The good thing is that, you see, if they must be part of what G17 is doing, they have to also be part of your business. But when you show them G17 first, all right, when you show them G17 first, it reduces a lot of hardship in getting them on board, showing them businesses, and having them to keep you on probation for a very long time. And that's why I was encouraging us that, you see, if you ever have any prospect, all right, and they can afford to be in our 9 o'clock meeting every day, bring them. It's not meant for just members alone. It's also meant for your prospects. All right. And it's what you tell them about G17 that is going to make them want to be part of what we are doing, part of the learning process. You see, when you sort like that, you will end up developing your egos even before you get them on board the business. All right. So part of the reasons why a lot of prospects run away from us or they don't answer us or be part of what we are doing is because we show them business first, not value. All right. So let me continue. You see, people don't prospect because of fear factor. All right. False evidence appearing real. All right. What actually breeds this fear is lack of knowledge, which is ignorance. All right. But knowledge brings what? Confidence. I've told us that before. All right. When you're knowledgeable about the industry of network marketing, all right, when you're knowledgeable about the platform, the company, all right, and when you're knowledgeable about the group that you are representing, all right, and you're coming from that knowledge standpoint to all your prospects, you see, fear disappears. Fear disappears. All right. So who is qualified to prospect? All right. Someone who has undergone, number one, G17 initial planning meeting, what we call IPM. All right. That's the person who is qualified to what? Complete it now.
Prospect.
Prospect.
Good. All right. So as soon as you get on board the business or you get anybody on board the business and they are not trained, how will they prospect when they are not trained? It's like, when you got your job and nobody trained you on that particular job and say, come and resume office. What do you know to go and do in that office? No matter how educated you think you are, the job must train you on the job. All right. So initial planning meeting is very, very key. Let me tell you something. I've told us before. See, success. Is that Milka? That's annoying for us. Where was I? What was I saying?
We are talking about who is qualified to prospect, that the person has to go through maybe the person comes on board. That's what you're saying, that when somebody comes on board, you need to go through the.
Thanks. All right. Thanks. Thank you. All right. Now, you see, success in everything, especially in our business, is 80% strategy. If you get it right in the place of strategy, forget about the rest. All right. Yeah, you need to be passionate about what you do. We know you need to be knowledgeable about what you do. All right. But you also need to know what you're doing. All right. So when you get anybody on board and you get the commission immediately, basically you need to teach that person so that duplication can happen for you. All right. Because at the end of the day, you see, if you know how to go and bring people, but you're not duplicating, you're not creating leaders, you're not creating people who are capable of doing exactly what you're doing and, to keep transferring it to generations in your team, basically, you will never have that freedom. All right. One of the reasons why a lot of network marketers keep jumping from one opportunity to another is because they don't take their time to build leaders in one particular organization. All right. They have the qualification, they can go and create result anywhere. But how about creating leaders, all right, that gives the financial freedom at the end of the day, all right, and teach them to also create their own leaders as well, so that as you are becoming financially free, they are also becoming financially free. So imagine a community where every single human being there are all financially free. That's what it takes to be a leader. All right. So initial planning meeting, IPM, is the foundation to building a great prospecting skill. All right. There you can, do your planning, analyze a lot of things, strategize, draw out the vision, draw out the objective of the business, state your mission, state, the organizational goals, have an evolving goal. Basically, it's during this initial planning meeting that you will know if the new team member you just got is serious or is not serious. All right. It's simply training, showing the newbies what to do. All right. And you see, your greatest prospecting tool in 2021 is going to be, you're going to have a living, not a dead contact list, but a living contact list. When I say living contact, is a contact list that you keep updating, keep collecting people's number and put on it, and actually go out and follow all the the steps in prospecting and what it takes to get people on board the business. All right. And in lieu of that, you need to have a prospecting book. All right. Not your church novel, or sorry, church diary or church notebook. All right. Have a business prospecting book. All right. Then move 2 numbers, at least 2 contacts on that book every single day. All right. Daily. All right. And creatively stay in touch with those people. Develop your relationship with them. All right. When that is done, then you can invite them over to take a look at what you are doing. All right. So those are some of the things that you're going to do this year. All right. To become super successful in prospecting. All right. All right. So part of that is that, you see, you're going to form, the forms of prospecting. You're going to do it this way. All right. You're going to learn how to, do customized SMS. One single SMS might not be meant for everybody, but you're going to do customized SMS. All right. In the case of email, I don't think in this part of the world, email is that too necessary. All right. But, you're going to do a lot of phone calls. I think this is the most important one, the phone calls. All right. Then apart from that, you're going to do a lot of one-on-one. All right. One-on-one closes a lot of deals for you. All right. Social media is there, but, if you don't master the art of prospecting on social media, you're going to waste a lot of prospects. All right. Then, general public presentations like we normally hold on Zoom every 8 o'clock on a daily basis is also there as well. And you need to also focus on some group presentations. All right. Like meeting the leader of the women association or men association of so and so. All right. Because once you get the leader, the rest of them follows by default. All right. Don't say, okay, there's a meeting there's a program or the business. No, don't do that. All right. If you want to focus on a particular group of people, all right, or association, go for the leader first. All right. When you go for the leader has ESCOs. The ESCOs will follow. Once the leader and the ESCO follows, basically you have the entire body. All right. So one of the greatest mistakes a lot of people make is that they go for the body once and for all without going for the leader first. If it takes you to do one-on-one with the leader, do one-on-one with the leader and get the leader on board. All right. Teach the leader that your ESCOs can follow you. All right. Then he will be the one to take the business to the ESCO and invite you to come and do presentation for the executives. All right. And once you get the leader, you get the executives, you have the entire body. All right. So don't just jump this process by taking, okay, my church group, this one youth is not. If you're going for the youth in the church, get the youth president first. Get the youth president first. After then get the youth executives, all right, through the president, all right. Then you have the entire youth. All right. But when you go for everybody without having all these people on board, when the body is going to throw objections, these are the people that are going to help you to say, so we are already inside. We have seen the juice in the business. So if I want to take it to see, they will help you a lot than you just opening your bare chest to go and face the entire association. All right. So there are strategies, there are ways you need to go about things like that. So how do you make the invite? All right. Which is your greatest task for success. All right. I told us in the gateway skills, you see, closing starts from what? Invitation. All right. And that is why I see, no matter how eloquent your leader is, no matter how eloquent your upline is, basically, if you don't learn how to close, basically, you're going to suffer a lot of harm. If you don't also learn how to make invitation, you're going to suffer a lot of harm as well. And nobody can make that invitation for you. You have to do it yourself. All right. So there are 4 C's of inviting. Number 1 is to have your invitation pattern customized. All right. I told us that, you see, not the same strategy of invitation is used for everybody. All right. I'm going to give us templates on what to use, all right? But it's not, you can edit it to suit your own if you want to make invitation, all right? You can use that template to make the call or make the SMS, but most of the time, I will encourage you to do the call. It's more effective, all right? Then always create scarcity for your opportunity, all right? Always create scarcity. Did I told us the other time that if you have any question or something you don't understand, you can ask? Did I say it?
Yes, sir, you did.
Okay, good. So you need to create scarcity. All right. You also need to create exclusivity. All right. And finally, you have to consultatively engage. All right. Focus on needs. All right. Focus on needs. All right. So, and you see, never repeat an invite to the same prospect. All right. Never. Don't do that. All right. Then presentation. No question here, right?
There is, please. Create scarcity. What do you mean?
Why didn't you ask? Why must I ask before you ask?
Sorry, sir.
It said create scarcity, right?
Yes, scarcity.
All right. Now, do you remember the story I tell you about the petrol and water? Can you remember?
Yes, we remember.
Yes, sir.
Now, I told you, you see, petrol, even though it's less important to people, but it's more valuable, it's more expensive than water. Why? Because it is scarce. All right. Everybody respect petrol because apart from its volatility, it is scarce. All right. Now, water, everybody don't respect water because they can get it anywhere, anytime they want. But not the same thing with petrol. All right. So even though water is very important to most people, all right, it has less value from the same people. All right. So when you create scarcity for your business, basically people tend to, respect it and value it the more. How do you do that? When you invite me, for instance, to your meeting, and probably I wasn't able to make it, and you're calling me to ask what happened, right? If you venture tell me, okay, there's another one coming on board, coming up, basically, that is making your business too available for people. All right. The ideal thing is this. All right. If I am not able to meet your meeting, or probably I promised I was going to come, but I didn't show up at the end of the day, or my network or something happened. All right. Don't tell me your meeting will still hold tomorrow. Immediately you do that, I'm not daft, I will know it's network marketing. All right. The ideal thing to do is, you see, I don't know, I may not be able to tell when next the meeting will come up again. All right. But you see, it took me a lot of resources to be able to book this one for you to attend. But meanwhile, nonetheless, you see, if there's any opening again, I will let you know. That is creating scarcity. All right. Now, most of the time, I will not even let it happen that you refuse or you weren't able to attend before I even tell you that. From invitation, I'll let you know. Please, Doc, if there's any chance that you're going to skip this meeting, can you probably let me know on time? Because it took me a lot of resources to be able to, get this space for you to attend. All right. But in case something happens, will you let me know on time so that I can replace you with another person? You see, nobody liked being edged out. All right. And nobody like, being given an opportunity and taking the opportunity away without even their consent. All right. Now, when you do that, they will do whatsoever it takes to be there, to at least even hear what you want to say. And the idea is for them to show up in the presentation, all right, and be educated about what you're doing and have them understand it. All right. But when you're taking the opportunity away from them stylishly like that, they will run after it. Honestly, when there's fuel scarcity, people queue to buy fuel. Why? Because they need it. It is scarce. If they don't buy it now, they might not see it tomorrow. All right. So part of the reasons why you have options basically, and people keep, procrastinating is because you made the business opportunity meeting available, too available. There's no scarcity. So the importance is taken away from it. The value is taken away from it. And even though you guys didn't ask, I know you want to, have a fair knowledge about the exclusivity thing. Make the meeting not for everybody. Not every Tom, Dick, and Harry can crash into the meeting. The meeting is for some top, management team or top executive, or just put it somewhere. It's not a meeting for everybody. So not every human being can work. If senators are doing their meeting, not everybody can walk into the Senate meeting. All right. Why? Because it is exclusive to senators alone. All right. So the same way, when consultants are doing their meeting, when medical doctors are doing their meeting, no, not everybody can just walk in. There's exclusivity for it. All right. And people love, something that is exclusive. And that is why you see, when you have the money and you're taking a flight, you want to fly business class or first class because you don't want to join the crowd. When you go to lounge or probably restaurant, basically, you want to go for the VIP because you want your privacy. But probably part of the reasons why most of us follow the crowd is because we can't afford the exclusivity. All right. So when you create exclusivity on a platter of gold for people, they come for your business. Even though somebody had shown them before, that doesn't matter. But right now, this is exclusive. I've suffered this thing, I'm telling you. When I started out in network marketing, I was trying to bring in some honorable members, and I was mistakenly telling them this person is already in the business, this person is already in the business, this person is already, and these people are seeing themselves higher than these people I'm calling to compare. So unknown to me, there's this particular woman, I was saying, is it this business that this boy is doing that you're telling me to come and do? 2 years down the line, another of my downline went and registered her in the same business. Why? Because of exclusivity. The woman that went to register her at the end of the day, they are almost in the same level, at the same level. So she's comfortable doing business with such people. Churchill, are you still in church? Your mic. All right. So you need to create scarcity. You need to create exclusivity, guys. All right. So any more questions? All right, no question. Let's fire down. All right, so let's move to presentation after invitation. All right, now presentation, is a detailed process of communicating the G17 opportunity, taking into consideration your prospect's perceived needs. And that's why I said here, you need to consultatively engage. Focus on what? Their needs. If you know I'm always working and breaking my back without having enough time for myself, that is a need. My need becomes, I need more time for me, all right? So the presentation can be one-on-one, all right, which is, for me, is most effective, all right? One-on-one, two-on-one, home meetings, basically, all right? Or, general group presentation like we normally hold every 8 p.m., all right? And you also can focus on group presentations. I already told us how to treat that one. All right. Then, presenting the G17 opportunity is one of the easiest task you will ever have in 2021. If you understand the buy, use, share, and invite model. All right. What we're simply, teaching people to come and do, especially for those of you who are doing long reach, all right, basically is busy. Buy, use, share, invite. Simply switch your brand, all right, for health and of course for residual income. All right. Not even heard, I calculated what Oluchi earned this week alone. No, that was last week now. All right. What she's going to get paid for last week alone, brothers and sisters, is over 50 million in 1 week. 50 million naira in 1 week. One human being will just earn it. All right. For just switching brand. Plus, so because I didn't calculate other bonuses, other rishi that will be added to it. My brother. That is money. All right. Now, keep it simple in 2021. All right. Keep it simple. I call it the KISS formula. Keep it simple. All right. Now, show the growth plan. All right. Using, either your long reach marketing plan or your scrap it, whatever, how to move from slot 1 to slot 2, from slot 2 to slot 3, from slot 3 to slot 4. All right. And explain how, to fast track the 3 S's can help the system. All right. Fast track this thing, building the system, having a support structure, all right, and building the structure that handles the system for you, all right? What is structure? Who handles this? Who handles that? Who are the leaders that are taking care of this particular area, and you see, and expose people as well to the product. If you ever come to my house, I have enough supplement that I take on a very daily basis. All right. Why? Because I want to live longer. All right. Live longer to enjoy my money. All right. I don't want to have this money at the end of the day, then I'm using the money to go and treat one nonsense somewhere. All right. Live longer, healthy, earning money. When I mean money, I mean money. All right. So finally, I think, all right, follow up. You see, the fortune, the money you're looking for is always in the follow-up. I told us in the gateway skills, you see, a lot of people don't get on board our business. Why? Because we don't ask them to. All right? Because we don't ask them to. So, if you don't follow up, all right, and someone else does the follow-up for you, all right, you're going to regret losing that person. All right, I know of a man who will fight tooth and nail to break anybody's head who takes his prospect. Well, don't let that be you. Don't let the prospect be taken away first before you start fighting for them. You need to do the follow-up and do the closing. Close the prospect and make the prospect a business partner. All right. So it's fantastic. So do you know that 97, all right, sorry, 79% of leads are never followed up? 79% of people that you show your business opportunity, you never get to follow them up. That's what it means, which is very bad. All right. So the 8 follow-up techniques basically, always keep asking open-ended questions. All right. You already learned them in the gateway skill. If you missed it, I'm very sorry. All right. Now seek their interest level and always be open-minded. All right. You can use product as follow-up tools. All right. Just like is Mr. Emmanuel here? Oh, he's not here. He's not here. So Julian can testify. See, one of the greatest thing I did for him was set him up. He answered. He was the first person that spoke that day, and one of the things that motivated him was this. Promising 100 trons to get him on board. And today he's on board and he's working. All right. So engage also in the post BOM. That's the post BOM value added gestures. All right. I already taught you all these things. After presentation, BOM means business opportunity meeting. All right. And smile at every response or every objection. Don't let their emotions get at you. All right. All right. Are we together?
Yes, we're together.
All right. So consultatively activate your industry or your company or your group knowledge. All right. You need especially your group knowledge. All right. Why? Because you see, people join people in businesses. They don't join companies. All right. And you see, most of the time you need to also educate and keep educating and classifying. All right. Now it's from the education, basically, you see, it's from the intelligence they're going to get from you educating them that is going to help them make intelligent decisions. All right. So that's very, very paramount. So the aim of every exposure is to set up another one. All right. The aim of every presentation, that's what it means, is for you to set up another presentation. All right. Always book a meeting from a meeting. All right. Holton Box we'll call it BAM farming. BAM farm. Book a meeting from a meeting. All right. Always have another, what they call it now, another appointment to meet after the first one. Never close the first appointment without setting up the second one. All right. With any prospect who is not already on board. All right. So if you take up to 5 exposures to achieve a sign up, please, it's worth it at the end of the day. All right. So always remember how long it took you as well to sign up. All right. How long it took your friend, and be patient with a lot of people as well. All right. Follow up with your target, all right, in mind, and put your prospect interest first, not your own. Your prospect interest first. All right. And develop a follow-up database. All right. That, of course, with your diary. All right. And always leave a footprint at the door. All right. So that people will always remind you in case they decide to start up, you'll be the first person, all right, they will call. And never give up on any prospect. All right. And learn to discipline your disappointment. Always discipline your disappointment. All right. Jim Rohn said, you see, disappointment are not special gifts that is reserved for the poor. Even the successful people in network marketing have their own fair share of disappointments. All right. So handling objection, lastly, is this. You see, tips to overcoming objection. Expect a lot of them, guys. Expect a lot of rejection. All right. Don't be emotionally attached to them. All right. Hope for the best, but always prepare for the worst. All right. So believe in yourself and the opportunity that you represent, and always smile and empathize with your prospect. Empathize with them. All right. Put yourself in their shoes. All right. And educate them accordingly. you don't forget the FFL, all right? The feel, felt, found, all right? I know how you feel. I felt the same way, but see what I found out, all right? This is practically, all right, different, all right? Listen and use the right body language. Never use the wrong body language. It will boomerang on you, all right? Keep eye contact always, all right? Always keep eye contact. Create a room for further conversation. That's farming. All right. Should you believe in the prospect's ability, occasionally send product as a gift. Should I repeat that? If you believe in the prospect's ability, send products occasionally as gifts. All right. So update with business achievements, basically. All right. Always get updates with business achievements. Anybody who just achieve new ranks in your team, always update your prospects with them. Say, see this guy when he got started, he was a nobody. Now today, all right, with the opportunity we are sharing, look at where the person is. All right. Then finally, to win in 2021, know your unique selling proposition and stay focused. All right. Know your unique selling proposition and stay focused. Perfect your prospecting skills by developing your knowledge base. All right. Create a simple presentation formula and follow up strategically. All right. And be consistent with your effort. I dare you, you will succeed. All right. So thank you very much for listening. All right. My name still remains Musa Martins, all right, aka MMA.
Thank you,
Musa,
sir.
aka again, Bin Musa El Martini.
Thank you, sir. Please, can we
Thank
see
you,
the last
sir.
slide again? The last slide, please.
aka again, the billion.
AKA again, the luxury enthusiast.
Yes. AKA again, the luxury enthusiast.
Thank you, sir.
I love the billions. It tickles me. Doc, do you mean this slide?
Yes, sir.
Is that Doc talking on Milka?
It's me, doctor.
Milka is not even online, sir. Madam Madara has gone back to Lagos. Network has become bad now. Did I say Lagos? Kano, sorry. Before Gloria will now come and attack me.
How did you? I wanted to say Lagos network is good though.
Will you keep quiet because you are lucky today?
Is there any day that I've ever experienced network difficulty?
Amen.
Ask me again.
No, give me an example.
I know.
Do I know?
You guys are jealous of the Lagos network.
Lagos that I have some prospect, they cannot even join meeting because of network.
Those your prospects,
You want us to bring, they are staying in the island, my friend.
It's a lie. The area is Ogun State area. How will you be in Lagos? No network.
All right. It's okay. It's okay. Who is someone that is giving us network here? All right. Any questions? What they call it now? Contributions or reviews? Doc, are you done?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Karibu. So no review today? Who will be the first to shoot today?
Happy Sunday,
Good
guys.
afternoon. Okay.
Don't worry, you can go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday.
Same to you, Fitzy.
Okay. Review. What I actually learned, what stood out for me actually is the aspect where he was telling us about what to show to our prospects. Because most of the times I actually do show them the business straight up, but now I know I have to first of all show them G17, tell them what G17 is all about. At least when they get to know what G17 is all about, then before I get into the business aspect, because according to MMA, people want to do business with people and not just the company. So when they see G17 and what it's all about and the people involved in G17, I think that would be a plus for me. That's just the main thing. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Great, Fitzy. As for me, I think the part I need to work on is making my business really scarce, right? The exclusivity that was talked about is something I really need to work on, and I need to make people understand that my business will not always be there, right? If you don't grab it now, then you're your own or you're lower. So thank you very much.
Ha, ha, ha. All right. Let me show us Cesar Rodriguez how to prospect like a headhunter.
Please excuse me, MMA. Clifford dropped his in the comment section. He said the aspect of creating scarcity. I added to knowledge. I added to knowledge on the area of not showing regularity of my meeting. The regularity of my meeting. Thanks, boss.
I'm finding it hard to read the English language because it's architectural English.
Okay, let me read it again first though. The aspect of creating scarcity, I added to knowledge in the area of not showing the regularity of my meetings. Thanks, boss. Okay.
I didn't like say in my Bible they read.
Clifford Wado.
All right, let's hear this this shark in network marketing out. All right, it's one of the young men that I respect his speed and the result he's creating in the industry of network marketing. Cesar Rodriguez, everybody.
Hey, what's going on? Cesar Rodriguez here. In the next couple minutes, what I want to do is I want to teach you a very direct way to build your business through prospecting. And that's through a technique that I like to call headhunting. Now, what is headhunting, you ask? It's basically being very, very direct and just getting right to it. No BS, no small talk, and just straight exposing people and asking them, hey, do you keep your options open when it comes to making more money? Because I think a lot of times, sometimes in this business, we tend to overthink and we sometimes, we go to someone and we might see an ideal opportunity, but we kind of plague ourselves with saying, how do I build that perfect rapport really quick? Or, how do I go to this person and bring this up? And, how do I get that transition? And a lot of times, people just appreciate you being direct. Listen, there's nothing about you that doesn't indicate that you're a super success story. It's not about the car you drive. It's not about, necessarily how you dress. It's about the confidence that you exude. Because let me tell you something, when you exude confidence, when your chest is up, when you're talking straight, when you're not wavering in your belief when you talk to people, they buy your confidence first. And then they'll maybe look at the trappings of success. But the bottom line is when you're headhunting, listen, you don't have a whole lot of evidence to show out. All right. So I'll give you an example. The other day, I was actually walking, walking through a little complex, and I walked into a store, and I knew in this particular place there was 2 employees there. There was no one else in the store, and I knew that they did sales. So you know what I did? I walked right into that store, and I said, "Hey, listen, I'm working with a company that's doing a lot of expanding out in this area, and they're actually looking for some people. Now I know you and you both do sales. Now what I want to know is, out of the 2 of you, who's the best?" Now all of a sudden they started joking around saying, well, I'm better than he is and blah, 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 blah. See, I just kind of broke the ice with a little bit of fun, but I let them know that my intent was, hey, I'm working with a company. They're doing expanding in the area and we're looking for some people that have some sales experience. So tell me about yourselves. Number one, do you keep your options open when it comes to making more money? Our company's looking for some people. And if you're the type that keeps your options up when it comes to making more money and it didn't interfere with what you're already doing, then we definitely need to know each other. All right. So listen, why don't you do this? Put down your name and number. Obviously now isn't the time or place, but I'll get back with you in more details. Now, I didn't say the name of the company. I didn't say give any details about what we do. I just jumped straight into it. All right. One of the great things about that is you come across with so much confidence when you're doing an approach like that, that people, before they start to question you and to ask you a bunch of questions, they're already on their heels thinking they need to impress you. See, when you go out there and you say, and you introduce yourself, hey, I'm a headhunter. Hey, I'm a recruiter and I'm working with a company trying to do some networking out in this area and I'm looking for the best of the best. Look, I can't promise you anything, but I'll definitely put you on my follow-up list and I'll at least tell you more about what we do at another time. Obviously off the clock. Now isn't the time or place. See, a couple key words that you need to say. Number one is I can't promise you anything. That lets them know that you're not maybe the final decision maker. And it also lets them know that, hey, listen, they can't, there's no amount of impressing that they can do at this point to get the position, so to speak. So that's number one. So always say that you can't promise them anything. It also opens up the door for you to get a third party expert into the exposure process later. The second thing that you always want to say is, look, now isn't the time or place, because that tells them, hey, listen, this isn't an appropriate time to go into all the details. Now's just the time to give me your contact information so I could follow up with you at a later time. So it's very important to say that. Also, when you ask someone, say, look, if you saw a way where you could make some pretty serious money and it didn't interfere with what you're already doing, would that be something you'd be interested in? If you saw a way where you could make some pretty serious money and it didn't interfere with what you're already doing. So now they can't say, well, listen, I'm really tied up with this job and I make a lot of money here and blah, blah. No. If it didn't interfere with what you're already doing. And if they say, well, I'm really busy. No. If it didn't interfere with what you're already doing, all right? Again, you're going right over that objection and saying, look, what we have to do has nothing to do with what you got going on. All right. So it really eliminates the I don't have the time excuse. And again, in the posture and the control that you're taking right off the bat, I also like to, make them feel like they have to really audition and they really have to impress me, all right, to even be given a chance. Because think about it. If you were a recruiter with a 38-year-old New York Stock Exchange company, or if you were a recruiter with like Coca-Cola and you were coming into town and you were headhunting and you were looking for some sharp salespeople, listen, how tall would you feel? How strong would your confidence be? What would your walk be like? You have to act as if, act as if you are that executive, act as if you are that top recruiter, act as if you can change that person's life and you're blessing them if you decide to call them back. When you come across with that type of attitude and you can walk straight into the front door of any place, and this is what I do. Anywhere and everywhere I go. If I want to expose someone, my goal is to always recruit sharper people. See, the key that I found in building my business is to try and target the sharpest possible people I can. So when I go to somewhere, all right, yeah, I might talk to the cashier, but chances are if I'm talking to the cashier, all right, I'm usually asking, I'm saying, listen, who's the manager on duty? Listen, who's the best person here? Who's the number one salesperson in this store? Hey, who's the general manager? And I will say, would you mind paging them for me? I'd like to chat with them and tell them about something. And you know what? I might compliment that person. I might say, hey, listen, I just wanted to tell you, your employee here is just a phenomenal employee. I was really impressed. And now that person is just shining and they're beaming. The manager's appreciative. And then I'll say, listen, obviously you run a pretty tight ship here, don't you? Well, listen, I'm really impressed. She said a lot of great things about you, Mr. Manager, Mr. Store Owner, Mr. Business Owner. So let me pull you aside for a quick second. Let me ask you something. Obviously, you know how to manage and run a team. Your employees are happy with you and you're doing a great job because they're doing a great job. So let me ask you a question. I'm working with a company that's doing a ton of expanding out here and we always have our eyes open for sharp new talent. If I could show you a way where you could make some pretty serious money and it didn't interfere with what you're already doing, would that be something you'd be interested in? And right there, I've opened up the door and I've been very direct. And a lot of times they're going to say, well, hey, listen, what's the name of your company? Always give the name of your company and a description. I'll say, hey, the name of our company is this, and this is what we do. Look, again, I can't promise you anything. Now isn't the time or place. All right. But best thing I can do right now is let me go ahead and get your name and number. I'll give you a call when you get off the clock. What time are you going home? All right, what time do you get off? Do you have the internet at your house? So I'll probably log you onto a website and probably pass your name along to my higher ups. All right, really, that's all that I'd be in the position to do right now. But first, let me go ahead and educate you about it at another time. Always be in a rush, always be out there talking to people and look for the sharpest people. And listen, if you just go out there and straight headhunt, you can cut through the games, you can cut through the BS, you can get right into the root, and it gives you the opportunity to talk to the sharpest people wherever you go. Listen, you go into a room with a bunch of salespeople, I say, listen, who's the best salesperson over here? Who's the number one salesperson? I walk into a place and I'll ask someone, I'll say, look, who's the number one person in sales? Who's the number one? Who's the top manager? And all of a sudden start saying, well, why? Well, because I'm working with a company and we're looking to pick up a few sharp people to do some work with us on the side. We do marketing, promotions, and management. Who do you know? Who's the top guy here? Most of the times they'll start selling themselves. So again, without even going direct, you went indirect, but you've been very direct about your intentions. And most people just appreciate that. And you can always say, look, we're looking for someone that wants to either make some pretty serious money, either part-time, or someone that's looking for a career change. Now, I'm not trying to steal you out of what you're doing, but again, it wouldn't interfere with what you're already doing. Do you keep your options open? Get the contact information, follow up later, put them on a pre-recorded call, log them onto a website, or set up that next exposure with your expert. And I can promise you, it will jack up the activity in your business and you will absolutely see incredible results. So that's my 2 cents for head hunting. Take it and use it, and we'll see you over the top.
Cesar Rodriguez. All right, guys. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a nice day, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Materials to take off in your scrappy business. And for those of us, building long reach as well, all right? You don't have any excuse than to become invincible this year, all right? See you tomorrow morning. We're going to start a fresh topic tomorrow morning, all right? And it's going to be fantastic, I assure you, all right? So invite as many as possible, all right? Don't to miss tomorrow's meeting, all right? So thank you very much, all right? I'm going to play a music for us from Enya. All right, I love so much. All right, and please enjoy yourself if you can. All right, and for those of us that wants to run, you can still run. So thank you very much.
Au revoir.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows? Only time. And who can say if your love grows as your heart chose? Only time. We are who can say what your heart says as your love flies? Only time. And who can say why your heart cries when your love lies? Only time. We are who can say